How are the brownies? Has he tried it?
We're about to find out.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
They look pretty fudgy to me.
They're very fudgy. They weigh about 5 ounces.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty fudgy.
You definitely need some milk.
Yeah.
Good late night snack. Senator Goodell,
Yes.
do you feel, I have a feeling that I know your answer to this question, that the moderators in general, of pretty much every debate you've been in, do not give you your due say?
No.
No.
That's right. They don't.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Probably because they don't consider you as, front runner, and so they think people don't want to hear from you, and so they're not going to listen.
There's elements of that.
Well,
Plus, there's elements that are steeped in conventional wisdom. And what I talk about is beyond conventional wisdom.
mm-hmm.
Let's take the question on the whole issue of immigration.
Mm-hmm.
They're all beating their brains out on immigration.
Mm-hmm.
We've been beating our brains out for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there something about that we don't understand that maybe...
What are we missing?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What we're missing is the fact that we can't solve it because we're not approaching the issue the right way. And what did I say? I said, well, employment is just about what it should be, 2.5, 2.7%. So that means we're almost fully employed. So if we've got 13 million people illegals working here, and we're at literally full employment, what does that mean? Nobody's taking anybody's jobs.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's a non-problem. So now why has it been created a problem? Well, you got the nativists,
Yeah.
who, those are the people, they just got off the boat and they don't want anybody else to get off the boat. So they start agitating on the extreme. They make it a wedge issue with their extreme people. So rather than just leaving them alone with their extremists, then the middle group now takes this up. And so politicians in the Congress will pick it up and they get a piece of the plate. And so we go through a decade of playing with the legislation like we're going to do something like there's a problem, when there really isn't a problem. Now you compound when the media, like these very intelligent people asking these questions, buy into this big time, and I start talking about where's the problem. I'm talking beyond their comprehension.
I do think you raise a lot of really good points that kind of bring everybody outside the box, which is such an important role, no matter what happens.
I was going to try to do that with China and then get my legs.
Yeah, I really, and
I was just saying, China, they get the demagoguery of it. Everybody's against China.
Yeah.
These people got to eat too.
Yeah.
There's 600 million of them in poverty. I mean, if we had a fraction of that problem, we couldn't begin to deal with it. And the Chinese leadership is dealing with it. And then they asked the question, well, how would you deal with them? Put pressure on them on the human rights at the UN. Well, what about China dealing with us at the UN when we invade Iraq without reason? What about Guantanamo? What about the rendition? What about how's China supposed to deal with us? How can we dare to think of the arrogance of the question of an American media person who's knowledgeable about all of this and talks about, well, how are we Americans going to tell those Chinese about human rights? But you begin to see, so when I come in and talk like that, look, this guy is from nowhere. Now you know why I don't get the time, because and I noticed that Michelle, when on one of the questions, was sort of hurrying me up, and then when Obama was talking about some platitude, oh, don't hurry, just take your time. It's part of conventional wisdom. part of convention. Really? Even
Even we're with
isn't it? So he discussed it. I want to hear your comments on that. That's very perceptive. That's very encouraging to me. No, I'm going to repeat it.
Senator, how are you?
Very good for my age.
Very good.
Just had a wonderful cookie.
Big topic. And comments and reports released with President Bush and his administration as far as
Well, first off, I want to commend the intelligence community. There's some people of courage in there and morality, because clearly the Congress has joined with George Bush in building a climate where the American people are prepared to accept, 52% prepared to accept that it's okay to go to war with Iran. And so they saw this happen. And so they stepped forward and said there's no reason. I mean, they're not going after the bomb, haven't been since '03. And so now, what's changed? Clearly, this is going to change American opinion. It hasn't changed the opinion of the White House. They still want to go to war. Now, what will happen in March, April? I don't know. Maybe this thing will be abetted by then. But clearly, this intelligence information has drop-kicked the White House and drop-kicked the Democrats in the Congress who were joining George Bush on the issue of going to war. But now what you see, and you heard in this debate, was giving credence to the fact that Iran is a problem because they give economic aid to Hezbollah and Hamas. They're entitled to do that. We give aid to Israel. So what's wrong with that? So Iran, and then they say, well, Iran is shipping in weapons. There's no evidence by American military that any of the bombs that are being used to kill Americans or any of the training that's taken place has come about out of Iran. And so that is fabrication and lies. So here we come back to the situation. Iran has never waged war for the last 150 years, except when they defended themselves against Saddam Hussein, who invaded them at American instigation, and America helped Saddam wage war against Iran, gave him the chemicals so that he could use the chemical weapons.
Just to use the term like World War III, no matter who you're talking about, when it's the president, does it have implications?
Implications? It raised the price of gasoline at the pump. It raised the price of oil from $65 a barrel to almost $100 a barrel. Our president is well nigh irresponsible. And the fact that the Democratic Congress sustains him in many of his ridiculous situations is just appalling. And that little wonder that the Democratic leadership does not want me to be party to any debates. I'm a Democrat that believes that when my party's doing the wrong thing, I'm going to criticize it. Because if you criticize it, you can now change it. But if you don't criticize the party that you care about, how are you ever going to improve?
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Okay.
Good debate today, though.
Okay, yeah. Not bad. I didn't get as much time as I wanted, but it was okay.
This is what the NPR wants to do, scheduling with the Talk of the Nation.
Oh, that's great.
She was waiting here just a moment ago, but she couldn't stay long.
Would she take me right then?
No,
She
she
could do it
wanted
later.
to schedule it.
Oh, okay, done.
Okay, I'm going to call her right now.
Yeah, call right now. Thank you.
Yep.